Hello, my name is Les Brown. I'm at the Super Bowl of trade shows and training. Let me share with you why it's important that you become a part of this community. It's a community of collaborative, achievement-driven relationships. And this is driven by meals rather than booths, where people are able to build relationships and can learn from each other, can observe the best practices, can get new ideas, find out new opportunities. I can tell you, I've traveled around this country and a world for 40 years. I've seen all types of training and all type of trade shows. There is absolutely nothing like this experience. The experience that you gather here will expand your vision of what's possible. The experience that you will get here will increase your relationships with people that can take you to the next level, that have access to resources and opportunities that you don't have right now. It will allow you, if you're serious about winning in business, to be able to win in a fraction of the time that will take you to do it by yourself. CEOSPACE is a different type of organization. There's a ceiling when you have a culture that's built on competition. But when you create collaborative, achievement-driven relationships, you can go beyond that. You know, Einstein said the thinking that has brought me this far has created some problems that this thinking can't solve. When you are part of a culture where people are turning to each other rather than on each other, where everybody operates from the thinking that if you give enough people what they want, they will give you what you want. That is a culture of cooperation. And all enlightened organizations see that and know that. And CEOSPACE gave birth to that many years ago before anybody was thinking about it.
So you are the head and founder of Harvest Growth?
Absolutely. Founded 5 years ago.
And so we're looking at your pictures here where you have worked with OxyClean, Kraft, Sonic Scrubber, All-Star. We see these on television, Kaboom, Orange Glow, Nabisco, True Lift. These are major brands, and this isn't even part of what you do. You have hundreds of them.
We've launched hundreds of products on TV and then taken them into retail as well, and found really that TV has become the most efficient vehicle to launch products and bring them out in the marketplace, get them in front of millions and millions of consumers so they're aware of them.
You're one of the leading firms in the world, and so when you come here, they don't realize you're taking countless private appointments. You're sitting individually in their room, individually, privately, and finding those products and putting them in the right context. That this will work on television. Here are the steps. Here's how we're going to do it. And here's the partnerships we can create to make it happen.
Yeah, after launching hundreds of products, I've learned a lot of the pitfalls, the ins and outs, and I love giving back, being able to meet with people and helping them avoid those same problems so they have a better chance at success as they launch their own. And we've actually found a couple products here in CEOSPACE that we've been able to help go to market. They've been huge successes on TV and in other channels as well, and it wouldn't have happened without CEOSPACE. Like you said, it's being here, sitting face to face, knee to knee, and really working through issues with people right in front of you. And there's no better environment for that. It's a great environment because whether someone knows your business exactly, has done the exact same things as you, they've been through similar problems and can help you work through a lot of yours. And we've seen so many solutions come and really get solved here where they wouldn't have been solved anywhere else.
I want to talk to you about the Fraternity of Masters, the faculty of CEOSPACE. If you're ready to take your leadership skills to the next level, this faculty will do it. The mentoring here will help you to become more effective as a manager. The coaching here will help you to become more competitive, will bring out your potential, will allow you to get out of your head and step into your greatness. The technology skills and the mindsets and young minds and seasoned professionals from all walks of life in business. You know, Henry David Thoreau said, do not go where the path may lead. Go where there's no path and leave a trail. CEOSPACE is leaving new trails, new paths for people to carve out for themselves, to be able to carve a hole through the tunnels of despair and be able to live their dreams, to grow their businesses, to get capital, to get customers, to get the kind of marketing they need, to create global marketing and branding.
One of the biggest success stories that we have is one of the CEOSPACE members that we met last July, Loop Rope. Well, Jeff Dahl and Dan Hawkins over at Loop Rope have been having extraordinary success. We've changed the profit margin, the packaging, the product positioning, and they got, at their first national show ever, the Senior VP of Walmart Buying Office. I sent him an email. They came over. They took a look at the product. They just got the purchase order for 1,100 stores. So they will have gone from one store in June of last year to 14 months later, they're in almost 1,300 stores before Christmas this year.
To the mommies and daddies of the world, when you hear the call for your children to be sent to CEOSPACE Teen Program, please make sure they come. They'll come in as babies, but they will leave as leaders of tomorrow. My son, John Leslie, has been intricately involved. He's learned so much. I have a different son. He's learned responsibility. He's learned the value of selecting good relationships. He's developed a thirst and a yearning to make a difference with his life. We're now realizing that as we work with our kids using the CEOSPACE training model for teens, that our young kids learn early on, they're molding now what they will be in the future. We help them to cultivate a sense of entrepreneurship and see themselves in the future making their mark. So make sure you send your children. I guarantee you, you'll be proud of them.
Do the teen program here.
I do. I am so honored to be the teen instructor at CEOSPACE and watch these amazing young people come in and just blossom. It's fabulous to watch their experience.
And you've been doing that since 1812.
Exactly. It's been about 15 years now. I think we started it in 1995.
Right.
16 years.
Yeah.
Has it been 16 years?
I know.
So 16 years, and we started the program because both you and I were watching these young people come in because people want their kids to get this experience younger. Everybody who comes here says, oh my gosh, I wish I'd known this before I spent 30 years working for somebody else. So they bring their young people, but their young people are in varying degrees of readiness for this. Some of them want to start a business someday, but they're more interested in having a healthy relationship with their family, or they want to get through school and they're not really sure what they want to do yet. So this is just such a great environment for them to start learning some tools and skills for their own development and for their professional development down the line.
Well, I know you just did this teen class and these kids called their parents up and shared things with them. The parents are crying, 1,000 people are crying. You do this stuff and it's like, it's a miracle. It permanently changes and shifts the confidence and the self-esteem of these young adults into their full power.
It's the most honoring work I've ever done.
She means so much to me. And when I was a little girl, I hated living on Maui. Everyone tells me, oh, you live in paradise, but I hated it. I absolutely hated it because I had all these big dreams and I thought that I could never get them done on Maui. And then one day when I grew up, I went 15 minutes away from my house to Eve's Sacred Garden, and I saw the kind of woman that I wanted to be when I grew up.
What you don't know is I'm sitting in the room all week long in various capacities thinking, thank you, Bernie, because the honor of working with these young people is over the top.
Eve is awesome. I'll be honest, when I first met her, I was like, oh, this woman's going to be annoying. She's going to bug me the whole time, I'm sure of it. But as the weeks went on, I was just like, okay, she's got some good points. All right, she's really deep. She really cares about us. And the more she showed her love for us, the more we showed our love for her and our love for ourselves and our love for each other. she inspired all of the amazing growth that has gone on in all of the teens. And I'm really proud to say that I know her. This week started off badly for me because I didn't want to come. I really didn't want to come. I was whining about it for months in advance because I thought it was just going to be a really boring, dull classroom just sitting there. I figured I might as well just go to school. And no kid wants to go to school in the middle of summer. But I got here and I started making friends, and I got asked what my dream was. And I realized, I don't know. I've got a bunch of things I'd like to do. And eventually we had speakers come in and I talked to people and I narrowed it down to 2 dreams. And it continued on like that, and I narrowed it down to 1. And I realized that that's what I've always really wanted to do. So all week I've been pitching owning a bakery because I love baking. I love the expressions on people's face when you present them with a cookie or brownie, the way their eyes light up. It's a small little thing, but it makes me happy. And throughout this week, I've just gotten to meet so many amazing people. I've gotten so close to the other teens, and I love them all so much. We're really a family.
If you're a corporation or an organization or an individual that really cares about the education of our children, I want to encourage you to become a part of a movement to get super teaching in all of the classrooms. I wish I had that. I was labeled educable mentally retarded. I was put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade, failed again when I was in the 8th grade. I didn't have super teaching, but here's what I did have that super teaching is characteristic of. I had a teacher who said to me, someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. I had a teacher who taught me the value of interaction, of social relationships, of developing yourself, of having a full sense of who you are, that gave me a strong sense of identity and purpose, which gave my life a sense of direction. That's what super teaching does. It allows young people to get a vision of themselves in the future. It affects different areas of the brain that accelerates the learning process. It's interactive. They build relationships. They have a strong sense of who they are. It allows them to become assets to our communities around the country rather than liabilities.
Super teaching is a really interesting idea. I'd love to see it put into the classrooms and see how it improves test scores, because I found myself paying better attention, and like they were saying with the snippets of nature scenes, it gave me time to think about what they were saying and let my brain register it. So it's a really interesting idea, and it's really cool.